Hello and welcome to another cTrader tutorial. Today we're going to discuss part of the cTrader Automate, which is backtesting. Now I know I've done some previous videos on backtesting in the past that were quite comprehensive, but these were done on cTrader version 2. So over the past few years, cTrader's done a lot of work now on updating the platform. So this is just going to cover some new features that you'll find really useful, and probably some bits and bobs that I didn't include in the last video that I did on backtesting. So what I'm going to do is explain what is backtesting first. So for starters, actually, if there's anybody out there that isn't familiar with cTrader Automate and you've just started watching this video, I would go to our website, and I'm just going to try and find out where it is. I'm just going to drag this across, come to our website, and under here you go into cTrader Automation Tutorials. We've got one also for cTrader Manual Trading. Now we're slowly putting videos into here, so you can actually click on any of these links with a cTrader Automate overview. So if you click on any one of these, it'll go to the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel will actually explain, in this case, what is cTrader Automate. And if you go to if you haven't subscribed to us, go to our channel. Let's quickly go through this. So on here, if I scroll down, we're going to put a lot of videos here. So for starters, if you've not familiar with what is automated trading system, watch this video here, cTrader Automated Trading System explained, and also what is cTrader Automate. Once that's done, you can then come over here and start watching this video here, which I'm about to show you, which is to explain how to backtest. There you go, that's it. So when you open up cTrader, you've got this window for manual trading. You need to click on the Automate tab down here, and that opens up the window for automated trading. Now this is covered in the previous video, so I'm not going to go into details about this. I'm just going to show you what is backtesting. So cTrader by default will install a load of example or sample Cbots. So I'm going to open up one now. I'm going to add a Cbot instance. So I can either click on the plus icon or I can right click. Now a Cbot instance is just a clone of your robot. So it allows you to have different parameter settings. In this case, I can have a 40 stop loss and a 40 take profit. If I opened up another Cbot instance, I can have a different currency symbol and I can use different settings. Okay, so it allows you to clone the trading system to have multiple different instances of that trading system with different symbols, or even with the same symbols and with different parameter settings. Now I'm just going to close this one here. I'll go into that in more detail later on about running a robot, but this video is just going to be for backtesting. So when you highlight the Cbot instance that you've just run, you then need to, you're just showed the manual trading chart at the moment, or the chart that would be used for automated trading. You click on the backtest tab at the top here. That takes you to the backtest part of the platform. Now backtesting allows you to run your robot, in this case the simple martingale Cbot, over historical data to see if your trading system is going to make a profit or if it's going to be a complete loss. So it's only used as a rule of thumb. And as everyone knows, backtesting is not a way of saying that it's going to do it in the future. It's all about increasing your probability. So with your trading, everything you do is about increasing the probability that you will be successful. So put everything you can on your side so you can win. So I'm just going to do a backtest for 1 year, and I can do this slider here. I can select the date there. So I'm going to go back to 2019 October, which is 27th. So from 27th of the 10th, 2019 to 26th of the 10th, 2020, it's pretty much close. Now, if I was to run this back test now, as it stands, it's not going to give me the results that I really want. And I'll tell you why, because you need to set your backtest settings. Now, to do that, it's not quite obvious, but you've got a little gear icon up there saying backtest settings. If you click on that, it gives you various options. I'll quickly go through the options. If, for example, your account balance is only $500 or $1,000, I'm going to talk about pounds actually. Say your account balance is only £1,000. You want to make sure that your starting capital for backtesting your automated trading system is £1,000. If you've got a £100,000 account balance, then you want to do £100,000. You want to make it as realistic as possible because you want to see how much of your money you're actually going to really risk, and I'll explain that when we go to drawdown. So stick with whatever as close as you can get to 1,000. If you've got a lower account balance, I think the lowest you can go is only 1,000 anyway, okay? So where it says commission per million, this is the commission that the broker charges. Because this trading platform is FX Pro, you have to go to the FX Pro website. If it's IC Markets, you go to the IC Markets website, and you can find their commission charges that they use. In this case, FX Pro charges $45 per million USD traded, okay, which would be $4.5 per 100,000 K or 100,000 K volume. So in this case, on here, you just select 45 per million. Then you want to choose data. Now what I'm going to do is explain to you what I mean by the different options of what is data, okay? So these are various options that you can use. I'm going to explain them to you, but you can also go to our website. In our knowledge base, we've got backtest data options, and this explains it to you, each one in detail down here so you can read it, okay? So if your English isn't so good, just come to this page here on our knowledge base and click Algo, and you can actually have a look. Let's quickly show you where the knowledge base is. From our website, you can just access the knowledge base by clicking on here. It's pretty easy to see. I'm just going to go down to cTrader user guide, backtesting, and it's got details of how to backtest a Cbot here. I'll show you that again later on. So I'm going to quickly go through the various options, even though we've got them written down. I'm just going to go through them on here. So where it says 1 minute bars from server open prices, this is the best one to choose if you want to do a fast backtest. And the reason I'm talking about speed is when you run this for a symbol for the first time, cTrader has to load that data in from the server. And once you've got it loaded in, it's quick, sorry. But to load it in first time round, it can take time. So I'll explain why that's important. So 1 minute bar data is just exactly that, open prices for every 1 minute candle that's coming in. Because there's not so much data, it's a lot quicker to do the back test, but I would use this as a rule of thumb before you actually use tick data, which I'm going to explain next. Now tick data from server, which says accurate, that's every time there's a price change. So this is historical data I'm talking about, going back 1 year. Every time there was a price change, which can happen when it's volatile many times per minute or second even, it also includes the spread. So if I go back down to 1 minute bars from server, you can see it's got the spread here, fixed value. The current live value is 0.3 or 0.4, that's 0.5, or you can have a random value. So if you choose 1 minute bar from server, it doesn't include the spread, but you can choose a fixed value that you're going to use. Because the euro dollar doesn't change much, you could easily do it as a random value between 0.1 and 0.5, something like that. So if you use tick data, it's included. So all that historical data, the spread is included. So obviously the broker makes money from the bid-ask spread and the commission, and this spread is included in the price data. Now this is a better way to backtest your system, but I wouldn't do that straight away because it takes too long. And what you want to do first is just do a rule of thumb. Is my trading system bringing me back good results? Yes or no? If it's really poor, then it's pointless doing a tick data test. Once you know that you've got some good backtest results using 1 minute bar data, you then run it with tick data as a secondary validation. So tick data is obviously one you want to ultimately use. The one down here, 1 minute bar in CSV file format, what that means is you can load the data in from a CSV file from external data source. Why would you want to do that? Well, if I scroll back with cTrader now, for Euro USD, if it went back further than that, actually, let me go back to 1 minute bar data. For Euro USD, it only goes back to 2011, so that's 9 years of backtest data. So if you did want to play around with more historical data, you can do that by loading in data from a CSV file. Now, to do that, you can download from various sources. There are companies selling market data. You can actually purchase this market data that goes back many years, and it's good quality. Another way of doing it is, I'm just going to quickly show you now, also in our knowledge base. This will show you how to load CSV market data into cTrader. It goes into detail, but also you can use how to backtest using cTrader. No, we don't want that one. This is the one I want. So we sell historical market data. Now we have a tool that allows you to convert data that you can get for free into a format to be used for cTrader. And these are just some samples that you can load, and they've got 15 years and 16 years, which is an extra 7 years above what, 6 or 7 years above what cTrader offer. Now this tool here will actually allow you to, you can get the data free from Dukascopy, and this tells you how to do it. So you can go to the Dukascopy website, download all this market data, but the format of the data is not going to be in the correct format to use with cTrader. This is why you use this tool here to convert it from Dukascopy format into cTrader format that you can then load into a CSV data file here. So that's to use the CSV data file. Okay, so I've covered that on backtest settings there. I'm just going to leave it as it is there, and I'm going to run a backtest, a 1 year backtest, roughly a year. Now, before I do that, I've got an initial balance starting of £1,000, and I've got lots of one. Now, lots of one on £1,000, that's a huge position size as a percentage of your account balance. So if I run this, So it's running a back test now. It's blown your account straight away, minus 100%. The reason for that is if I go to history, my position size was 100K. It's huge. It'll easily blow your account. So you want to go the lowest position size. If you're using a small account balance, it's 0.01 lots. If I run this now, and then I can open this screen by just getting the little cursor there, so you can resize this. Now you can see now it's actually performed, says 62%, but what I want to explain to you, even though it shows 62%, a lot of traders do not actually look at what risk is involved, they just look at the profit. So every time you see a spike going down like these 3 spikes, that means there was huge drawdown. So if I hover over this one, it shows that you had a balanced drawdown as 26% at this moment in time. Now what that means is that at some point you had your balance was at risk 26%, a quarter of your money was at risk. Now that's quite high gambling in my view. So depends what type of trader you are. If you're looking at it as a long-term business and you want to get a small income with a small risk, then you want a very low drawdown. And I'll go through the trade statistics and explain this to you. But if you are looking at purchasing a robot, again, this is just a sample one that cTrader provide with the platform. You would never actually use this with live trading, but you could use it as a basis to start using with an automated trading system and in risk management. So if you ever see a trading system that's got large spikes going down and stuff like that, don't go out and buy it just because you see a lot of high net profit. You ideally want it so there are no spikes and you want the lowest amount of drawdown. Again, remember that backtesting is just backtesting on historical data. Anything could happen in the future. And one thing I want to stress now, even though I'm running this as a backtest over 1 year, you would never run an automated trading system and never look at it for 1 year. You would never have positions open when certain market events occur. An example would be, say over a year period, the COVID crisis starts. I would have probably closed all my positions and not traded at all during the COVID period because it was too much noise. You can make money out of things like that, but if you're running technical systems, I would have stopped that. Whereas if this was an automated system and that was running through that period, you'd make massive losses. So you cannot, in my view, run an automated trading system without manual watching the trades, watching the markets, and having trading experience. So if you're not an experienced trader, I would never just go out and buy an automated trading system and run it and expect it to make money. That doesn't work. You need trading experience and you need to manage and watch these trades, and you need to turn on and off this system, whatever system you're using, when the markets change or when there's certain events in the market that might affect your trading, okay? So I'm going to now go to trade statistics and explain it to you. So trade statistics gives you a lot of information about this trade that occurred with your backtest. When you first do this with cTrader, you'll probably see it all squashed up on the right. You do need to drag it across and resize it. I don't know why they've got it like that. It should automatically format in a correct format, but you've got to drag all the values across. Now, to find these values, again, on our website, which I've now got to find, you've got 2 options to find these values. One is to go to the cTrader help file, which is here. cTrader has help.ctrader.com. It has a lot of information about using backtesting, and if I scroll down, it's got some on trade statistics here, but the trade statistics descriptions aren't so expanded for you. So we've done another one on our website that actually explains it in more detail. So I just got to quickly find that for you. So the one that we've got, I have to go to knowledge base and then go all the way back down again because I closed the window down. Sorry about that. And I go to backtesting. I drag this across, and I'm going to go to trade statistics. So these are the trade statistics. Now you can also look at here, and we've gone into more detail explaining what net profit is, what max balance drawdown is. And you click on this link, it will take you to a page and explain exactly what drawdown is. And I think there's a video on that as well. And then if you scroll down further, it tells you all the other things about the equity drawdown, winning trades, max consecutive trades. So it's a bit more information, and Sharpe ratio, Sortino ratio, a bit more information to help you out. And also have a read of this. It also explains why is my ending equity different from my ending balance, and that'll explain exactly why it does that, okay? So I'm going to now quickly go through it now and explain it to you here, but you can actually refer to this knowledge base afterwards for more information. So your net profit is pretty straightforward. What was your net profit at the end of the back test? And you might see that your ending balance is slightly different than your ending equity. So one is 21 and one is 19. The reason for that is when the back test finished, there were still trades open that were losing. Okay, so nearly £2 or something. So the trade was losing and it hadn't actually closed. So when you finish running your back test, you may notice, it doesn't show you with cTrader, but there would have been trades still open, either winning or losing. So your ending equity and your ending balance might be different. Okay, so net profit factor. Now your profit factor is a calculation of the ratio between the total net profit divided by the total net loss. Your commission is how much commission, as I said it before, it was $45 per million traded, and that's the volume. So your volume you can find in the history of each trade here is 2,000 volume, 2K for each trade, 4,000 volume. So it will calculate the commission for each one. So there's £142 worth of commission there. The max balance drawdown, which was high. So in this case, your balance was at risk 37% at some point during that back test. Again, this is very, very high. I would look at a back test at 5% or much, much lower. The same with MAC equity drawdown. The total trade was 497. The winning trade was 250. The max consecutive winning trade is how many trades in a row did this system win? The largest winning trade was £381, and there were 247 losing trades, and you had 7 losing trades in a row. The largest losing trade was £201. The average trade was £1.25p. Now, Sharpe ratio and Sortino ratio, they're quite important, and I'll explain them now. So before I do that, the areas I would look at if you're new to automated trading is your net profit. Obviously losing trades, but it's not massively important as long as your risk is low. So in this case, it's your max balance drawdown and your max equity drawdown. These two are very important, your net profit and Sharpe ratio. Sharpe ratio just gives you a rough idea. If I go back over here and scroll down, Sharpe ratio is used, gives you a measure of return of investment compared to the risk. You can find out more about Sharpe ratio just by Googling it, and it will give you like everything you need to know about what Sharpe ratio is, but it is quite an important factor on your trading robot to see what your return of investment is. So that's your trade statistics. So it's also important to look at your trade statistics when you run a back test. Again, remember this is just a rule of thumb. Back testing is just a rule of thumb, just to see is your robot. So if you were to run this system and it just blew your account within 10 trades, you would never run that on a live account ever. If you were to run this robot and you had, say, 20% net profit with a 1% drawdown or a 0.5% drawdown, you'd have a lot more confidence knowing that your trading system was at any point during a year with no manual intervention was only risking 0.5% of your balance. And that gives you a lot of confidence to run this system and not look at it overnight, for example, when you're sleeping. So backtesting is just to help you run the system knowing that you're not going to blow your account. But things could happen. The markets can change and it might still happen. This is just the type of industry it is. So it's all about just increasing your chances of making a profit in this industry. So the other thing you're going to look at is history on the history tab. Now the history tab shows you all the trades that have happened, the winning and losing and where they happened. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to minimize this window down a bit. Now I don't like all the stuff that's on this chart, so I'm going to right click and go to viewing options. Oops, no, yep, viewing options. And I'm going to take away everything. So I've just got a clear screen. I'm going to also make it a bit smaller. Now, if I pick a trade here, this one here, this one shows me where the sell order was submitted and where it was closed. So you can see the deal map by clicking on any of the trades and it will show it onto the chart. Now, this is very useful if you are cross-validating your trading robot that uses technical indicators. An example would be if I just add a technical indicator, say for example, I want to add the DiNapoli stochastic. And this DiNapoli stochastic, say, for example, would enter a buy position here. You could cross-reference your trading system to check that the position opened in the correct place. So another reason for doing back testing is to validate your trading system to make sure that your buy entry point and your buy exit point happened at the right place with the signals coming from your indicators and anything else on the chart. So if you were to do a trading system that had various technical indicators, you would add all of these to the chart, run a back test, and then click on the deal map and cross-reference that these trading systems opened and sold in the correct place. Now, this trading system doesn't use the DiNapoli stochastic, but the reason that probably succeeded is that the DiNapoli stochastic was stating here that it was overbought, and it was going into a bearish trend for sales. So it was overbought here for the dynamic stochastic, so, and it crossed over in almost the same place. So in reality, it was a good place to actually enter a sell position. Even though this is a martingale system that doesn't use the technical indicator, it will allow you to cross-reference. Events, this gives you all the events that happened in the trading. So you can look at everything that's happened. Now the log is very useful. If I click on all events, so the log gives you all the market data. So again, if you had your own system, you would add additional log information to check that, when certain trade rules are happening, to help you understand. If you look at the log and you feel that a trade shouldn't have opened in a certain place or closed in a certain place, you can look at the log plus validate on the chart, and all this information should help you realize if there's a problem with the trading system. Okay, so that's that. That's what I want to show you there. The other thing I wanted to show you is you can just change these values to anything you want. I could do if I do a stop loss, a much higher stop loss, you should see there'd be a higher drawdown because it won't close the positions. Oh, no, it just closes the trades. It's not as good for trading. So it didn't trade very well with a higher stop loss, but this will give you some idea that you can change the values here to anything you want and run a back test to see if it works. Now, one of the other things I want to show you, which is a new feature of cTrader, is the visual mode. Now, the visual mode shows you in real time the trading that was going on, the positions that were opening. So if I click on visual mode and I leave the speed at 2000, if I click play and go to history, one position's opened already. And this is running. Now I have to right click and go to viewing options because I closed the positions. There it is. One position's opened already. So this is simulating this robot running in real time using historical data so you can watch how it actually works. Now again, if you had your technical indicators on the chart, and your trading system uses technical indicators, you can cross-reference easily using visual mode exactly when the trading occurs. So you can see our dynamic stochastic is coming up with a buy signal at the bottom, but this is obviously this system's not using it. So the trend should go up. I mean, this is just one indicator, you wouldn't use it. And obviously it doesn't, I don't know. So if I increase the speed to a bit higher, to 5,000, and it does go up in the end. And I'll do it higher to 10,000 and to 50,000. So you can actually change the speed of it and watch it trading, and then go to the history and actually see the history of the trades that have opened and closed. And I can go to 100,000 speed. So this is a good way of actually running the visual mode to check your trading system of how it's actually working. You can watch it in real time, and you can also look at your technical indicators, and you might see, and this might really help you by noticing in your technical indicators there was something that you were missing in your trading system that you can tweak to cut your losses. So you might notice that there's trades losing and thinking, oh, I know why, because this technical indicator wasn't doing a certain thing. So you can tweak the parameters, use a different indicator, modify the indicator. And the whole idea is that you can tweak and manage your automated trading system using the visual mode on cTrader for backtesting to perfect it so that when you're happy that it's giving you a low drawdown and a good net profit, you can then run it on a live system. Okay, and then you can just keep it and run it on a live system. Okay, one of the few things I'm going to tell you now is that when you have the perfect parameters, so it's more difficult with this one, but if I go to this one, so you have a set of parameters here, and it took you a long time to find those parameters, which I'm going to show you in another video called optimization. And optimization is a way of actually letting the algorithm of cTrader optimize or data fit the perfect parameters for the historical data. It's good for some scenarios, but not others, and I'll go through that on a separate thing. But if you did find your perfect parameters for your backtest and you wanted to save it, you just click on the little save icon there, and you can save it onto a folder, any folder you want here. I can just click save. Now, if you wanted to load it in, so if you have your Cbot settings, you want to open up another Cbot instance. Now I want to load in the parameters for the second Cbot instance. You click on the open folder. Because this is Euro USD, it's not the same. If I choose this one, CHF-JPY, and click open, continue, you can see it's changed to CHF-JPY. Now the parameters would change. Oops, I've loaded it in the wrong one. That's why. Remove that. Silly me. It's this one up here. It's this trading system here. So if I was to add another one there, and I wanted to load that in, I just load it in. I can either right click on there and load and save, or I can load and save from up here, so I can open. and you load the parameters on there. That's just a quick example to show you how to do it. And just quickly, I'm just going to show you what they are. So if I was to open one of these and open with Notepad, it just goes to show you that these files are nothing more than settings and which parameter the settings belong to. And when you load it in, it just updates all these settings and parameters. So when you are backtesting and tweaking and you've got the perfect parameter set, you want to save it and keep it backed up somewhere just in case you lose it. And you want to experiment with different symbols, different parameters. Not all the symbols are going to be using the same parameters, so you can use it that way. So that's all I wanted to show you with backtesting. I'm hoping that's more of an in-depth view than I showed you before. Now, if I just drag this back across, now if you want to find out more about backtesting, you can come to our page here, and it's got various information about backtesting to help you out. We're going to add one for optimization as well. And if you want to find out more about who we are, you can come to our YouTube channel at clickalgo.com. We've got loads of videos on how to use cTrader for manual trade and all the rest of it. If you subscribe, you obviously get updated when new videos come in. And on our website, all the videos that we're doing. Obviously, if you don't know who we are, we've got loads of trading software for cTrader. So you can download different types of indicators and tools. But if you go to cTrader, we've got one on trading tutorials on manual trading. So we've got loads of video tutorials to help you with cTrader just to trade it manually. And if you go to automation tutorials, I'm going to now put a lot more videos in here to help you there. Okay, that's it. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps our rankings and it helps me create more videos for you. Thank you very much.